I felt so lost. I felt like I was going in circles. I felt really confused, and I was really low. And so I have been in that place, but I know the profound impact you can have on your own life when you start to get yourself into a space where you give yourself permission to actually dream big. My candle is lit. My tea is in my hand, and I am ready to start dreaming big. Welcome. So in this episode, I wanted to get together with you and I wanted to dream up some big plans for us. I thought I would just create a little space for us to just expand our minds and our visions and use our imaginations to really dream up the most amazing year for ourselves. I think so often as we get into a year, so often our limitations and we end up becoming realistic, or we imagine maybe the worst things that are going to happen, or we get so hung up on our limitations that we're actually not using our imaginations anymore to dream big and to expand our minds as to like where we can go and what we can achieve. So yeah, I think at this time of year and every time of year, it's so important to just do this and to come back to this place of dreaming, visualizing, connecting with ourselves, and really getting intentional about what we want. You've probably heard me say this a million times before, but success is not an accident. We have to create success on purpose. If you want to live an amazing life, if you want to make next year way better than this year, then you have to get intentional about it. You have to make some changes. And so I wanted to start this process with you with us dreaming big. But now let's just, I don't know, maybe you could go somewhere and light a candle, get your favorite drink, and we can just sit down together and we can start dreaming big. So for me, dreaming big, I have always loved visualizing. I have always loved getting lost in dreaming up possibilities and different things. So as a kid, my dad used to always teach me about goal setting and dreaming. And I think when I was like 10ish, we went on this course to learn about the power of the mind. And that was probably the first time I really connected with this idea of visualizing. There was this visualization that we did called the house on the right bank. And in the visualization, you literally create this house in your mind, and you have this it's kind of like a dreaming suite, and in this room in your house in your mind, it's a movie screen that you see, and you basically can project the life that you want to live, the things that you want to create, and the things you want to achieve. And it was just, for me as a kid, it was just a really magical place in my mind I could go to start envisioning what I wanted to make happen. I created my first ever goal folder as a teenager, and in that goal folder are just also, I mean, from my grade cards at school that I had changed my grades of to have A's, to cars I wanted to drive. And it was it was materialistic stuff, but it was just, as a kid, it was just stuff that was helping me to grab onto this idea of I wanted to live a successful life, and I was trying to piece together what that meant for me. And I had in the back a bottle of perfume of what I wanted my life to smell like when I was successful. And I would take out that perfume and I would just smell it. And to this day, I've still got one bottle left because I don't make the perfume anymore. It was, I think it was like Burberry London or something. And the only reason for me it smelled like success is because a friend of mine from school wore it one time and I smelt it. I think I was at her house, and she lived in a really big house, and it just felt like success. Like, that's what it smelled like to me. And so, I've still got a bottle left from all those years ago, and yeah, even now when I smell it, I feel wrapped up in this feeling of success. So I have loved playing around with this for a really long time, and dreaming, you probably heard me talk about my dream jars. I've got dream boxes and all sorts. I mean, that's why in the planner, when we send the planner out, it comes in a presentation box, which doubles as a goal setting box, where you can put all your goals and write them down and put things in there that you want, and just know that it's a done deal. When it goes into the box, it's a done deal. And that's kind of what I like to live by, this idea that we can conjure up anything we want in our imaginations. In our imaginations, we can experience anything. But for me, it's just it's just a bit of fun. It's having fun, expanding our minds, expanding the possibilities, and just dreaming about what we could make happen and what we could achieve. And I have been on the other side of that. I've been, there was a good few years in my life where I felt so lost. I felt like I was going in circles. I felt really confused, and I was really low. And with that came anxiety, heart palpitations, all sorts. And that I just knew I was just so disconnected with myself, with my vision, and I wasn't using my imagination to think about the possibilities and the opportunities. I was using my imagination to think about the limitations and the struggles, and it really kept me trapped. And so I have been in that place, but I know the profound impact you can have on your own life when you start to get yourself into a space where you give yourself permission to actually dream big. The first thing I want to do with you is the manifesting an amazing year exercise. Believe it, see it, feel it happening. Before you get writing, I want you to ease into everything by just sitting and thinking about, what would your best year ever be like? What would you achieve? If you feel stuck at all with this, start to think about what you don't want, and then ask yourself, what would the opposite of this be? So if you know that you don't want to feel stuck next year, then the opposite would be, I am clearer than ever before, and I know what I need to do to make progress, and I feel supported to make it happen. Give yourself permission to just sit with your favourite drink and let your mind run wild. Keep bringing your focus back to what you want to make happen and how you want to feel. Once you feel ready, I want you to vividly imagine that it's 1 year from now and you've had your best year ever. You've achieved some incredible goals. You've completely excelled and made it happen. You close your eyes and take a few moments to picture that. Really connect with how you feel. At this point, it might be just very generalized. Maybe you don't know the specifics, but you just know you want to feel happy, successful, fulfilled, for example. Just enjoy designing your best year in your mind, remembering you are a powerful manifester, so get intentional about what you want to manifest next year. So, what is it that you want? Knowing what you want is so crucial to your success. So, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you actually want? So let's have a talk about it. And what do you want? What do you want to make happen? What would be some really fun, cool things that could happen? Think about experiences that you want to have. Just try and think about it all, and just start writing. Give yourself permission to just pick up a pen and just start writing, and just see what flows to you as you think about what you want to make happen for next year. And at first it might feel very surface level, it might feel a bit awkward or uncomfortable, but as you give yourself permission to just keep easing into this, you're going to find you'll start thinking about more and more and more and more things as you just expand and expand and expand. So maybe hit the pause button and just take a moment to answer that question of what would you like? Okay, so once you have done that and really thought through that, the next question I've got for you, which I love asking myself this question all the blooming time, is how do you want to feel? So for example, for me, I definitely felt a sense of frustration and a sense of feeling a little bit out of alignment with my vision. I felt disconnected and disconnected, which led to my frustration. That feeling of, things just aren't quite right, and I want to be I want to be flowing. I want things to feel more aligned. I want to feel connected. But I was feeling slightly out of alignment. Also for me, a feeling of just a lot of joy from the fact that I got to spend a lot of time obviously with my kids and my husband, and we made some really great memories. We actually managed to get away on a really great trip for like 5.5 weeks to the States, which was lovely. So amazing memories made as well. So I love the fact that I gave myself permission to take 5.5 weeks off. I love the fact, I mean, that's been a goal and a dream of mine for a really long time. I also love the fact I've given myself permission to take Fridays off. I don't work on Fridays. I don't work on the weekends. I work Monday through Thursday. And I love the fact that I gave myself permission to do that this year. And it's felt really freeing to have done that. So yeah, what were the biggest feelings coming up for you? I mean, I know in the past I've had years where I've just felt fed up with myself, really fed up and ready for change. I've had years where I've just felt stuck. Years where I felt like I've just held myself back and got in my own way. Years where I felt incredibly stressed and anxious. So what is that biggest thing that's coming up for you? What came up for you over this past year? And now you are the creator of your life, and this is the biggest thing. Like, I remember it's Viktor Frankl. He said, everything in life can be taken away from you except for your freedom to choose how you respond. And to me, that's the most empowering quote, because we don't have a lot of control of some of the things that happen to us, but we do get to control and decide how we choose to respond. And that is so incredibly powerful. And this comes down to like feelings. So how do you want to feel? Make that decision now of how you want to feel and really own that power that you have to make that decision. If you don't want to feel stressed, then you have to make the decision that you are going to feel really, really good, or decide what it is so that you have something to aim for. So how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel powerful? Do you want to feel confident? Do you want to feel successful? Do you want to feel abundant? How do you want to feel? So think through that and write down what the top feelings are that you want to really bring into your life. So what is it how do you want to feel? And as you start to write that down, something you can really do is start dissecting what little things you can start to do on a daily basis that is going to bring that feeling into your life. So for example, let's say you wanted to bring more joy into your life. What does that practically look like on a day-to-day basis? What does joy look like? What does joy mean for you? What would bring you more joy on a day-to-day basis? Maybe it's giving yourself space every morning to light a really nice candle, to drink a cup of tea, and to read a chapter of a book. Maybe it's taking time to spend some dedicated time playing with your kids. Whatever it is for you, but what brings you joy, and how can you get more intentional every single day about bringing joy into your life? And the same, for example, let's say you want to feel more financially abundant. Well, you can feel that now, even though your bank might be you might feel like when you look at your bank statement, you're not financially abundant, but financial abundance is a feeling. So you want to start vibrating at that level right now. You want to start feeling financially abundant right now. If you want to welcome more financial abundance into your life, you need to experience it now. So I literally started doing this when I decided that I want to be a millionaire. I started to look at how do I need to feel? And started to connect with this feeling of just feeling abundant in myself. And things you can do, and obvious things, for example, the perfume example is a great example, actually. That was the perfume of how I wanted my life to smell when I was successful, when I was financially abundant. And so when I smelled that perfume, it gave me this sense of feeling abundant, feeling successful. I could step into that place where it just was. I knew it was a done deal. I felt it in every cell of my being that I was successful and that I was abundant. And at the time I was a teenager, I wasn't actually successful or abundant really at all in a lot of ways from a personal level of what I'd created. And so it's but I knew how it was going to feel, and I could connect with that feeling like it was real. So this is where I'm saying use your imagination to start connecting with the way you want to feel and how you can bring more of that into your life. So really take some time to just think through that. And then the other thing that I really wanted to do that would be really fun is I want you to think about, I've got some questions for you. I want you to think about how much time would you like to take off, and when do you want to take it off? I think it's so important that you book your vacations, your holidays, when you want to take some time away. And it might not be time off work. It might be that I want to go away for a weekend every other month, or I want to go camping. Whatever it is you want to do. I happen to personally really love camping. I love being in nature. And so the idea of like committing to that and to being like, I know when I am in nature, I feel more connected, I feel more alive, I feel it's like it's therapeutic for me, like it is for probably all of us. And so like doing things that are going to bring that feeling of connection back into my life. So that, for example, is something that I could do that would be an amazing commitment to make. So how much time would you like to take off, or what vacations would you like to take? What places do you want to go and visit? Really thinking about next year and how you want to shape it for yourself. Like, what do you want to bring in and experience? And then thinking about what courses or books would you love to go through next year that will help you. Have a think, like, in what ways do you want to expand? In what ways do you want to grow? And who can help support that? What would you love to learn about that's going to really help you as you grow and expand and welcome in more success and abundance? Like, what do you need to learn? What courses could you buy? What books could you buy that could help you? And thinking about what else could help you to live your dream life next year. What else could help you to live your dream life next year? So, for example, maybe surrounding yourself with more like-minded people, maybe being more proactive with building relationships with people that are going to help to elevate you and elevate you and elevate you. Maybe it's taking out more time to actually sit and read books or go through courses that are going to help you to expand and expand and expand. So really thinking about how, like, really kind of setting the vision for next year and for how you want it to feel, what you want to experience and achieve, you know, what places you want to visit, what, you know, time off you want to take, what vacations you want to go on, and just really kind of piecing it all together so that you've got a really clear picture of next year. So just take some time to like let that all sink in and to have fun dreaming and getting connected. So go dream big, create some space for yourself, and just get lost in the magic of dreaming and imagining and have so much fun doing it. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Go through those questions I've shared, and I will see you next week for another episode of the She Means Business Show. I hope you've loved this week's episode of the She Means Business Show. If you want more help and support to build a wildly successful business, then join hundreds of thousands of women and become an FEA insider. You'll get access to some of our amazing freebies, to our bonuses, to our giveaways, to so much good stuff. You can join me over at fea.link/insider to get all of the goodness. And I will see you next week for another episode of the She Means Business Show.